Good morning and greetings from Northumberland. It's a bright morning, a chilly morning, and it's the 9th of April, and we begin Holy Week tomorrow. And here in this bit of the Northumberland coast, we're having a messy church to look at this with the young people of our villages. Well, it was on this day in 1945 at the Flossenburg concentration camp in the then crumbling remains of Nazi Germany that the Lutheran pastor, a man of international acclaim even then, was hung. He was hung because the American soldiers were approaching the camp and they were going to liberate it. And it was, if you like, a final act of barbarity in that camp. Dietrich Bonhoeffer, who had been part of the Confessing Church, working internationally, trying to oppose Hitler, and arrested for that, was hung. He was hung before he could be liberated by the Americans. It was a final act of barbarity. But over 75 years later, his words, his letters and papers from prison are still an inspiration to people who face suffering and death and seek to make sense of these things. In Ukraine, we see the bombing of railway stations. We see brutal words for the children written on bombs. And we as Christians enter into this week in which we see the agony of Christ. And we have to make sense of all these things. And it is, of course, through the death and the resurrection of Christ that we can begin to make sense of them. That his journey from the hosannas of Palm Sunday to the crucify him of Good Friday, to the still quiet voices proclaiming he is risen on Easter Day, take us on a journey through suffering, and also take us, if you like, on a cosmic battle between death and life, and in which life proves victorious. So I'd call you all to walk the way of Jesus, the way of love and suffering and victory over death in the coming 8 days. And pray that helps us all to make sense of the troubled world in which we live and gives us hope in the face of suffering and death. Because the victory of Christ is a time of hope for us all. May God bless the people of Ukraine. May God bless us all. And may God bring peace and victory in love to our world.